said I got to say something, baby, hand me the mic. I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic. Somebody hand me a mic, cause I got to say something, so just hand me a mic. When I need to say something, better hand me the mic. I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic.
I went travelling at the start of this time last year. I was in Thailand actually.
No way.
I might have went a week after, but yeah, went Australia, Thailand.
Oofed.
3-4 months.
Oh, you went for 3 or 4 months?
It's kind of how I got into the online stuff, really.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, that's kind of how I went full time with it. Full time online. I was kind of pushed into it by making a decision: stay at the job in the gym, or go full time online and go travelling.
Yeah.
Best thing I ever did.
Was it? So how did it come about? I'm curious.
The online.
So you obviously when you went travelling, at that point you worked in the gym.
No, so I left the gym a month before I went travelling.
Right. Did you work for yourself then? Did you just switch?
No, so I worked in the gym as the manager.
Right.
I did obviously face-to-face personal training, but I did the online on the side as well. So all my clients who are PT'd, I would have online as well. So when they went with me, they obviously know what they're doing. Kind of took off, and I was seeing that the online stuff was what was getting everyone the results, rather than just an hour session a week with them. Got a lot more people on my online. That built up, and yeah, made the decision that I could go travelling. I could leave this job in the gym and still do the online, and went from there.
So you were literally managing people. Like
I was the manager at the gym. Yeah.
No, like when you travelled, you were.
Oh yeah, I was just coaching like I do now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, there's pictures of me sat on the beach on my iPad, just working as normal, but in Thailand.
Looks good on the socials, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
You know, it looks good.
Yeah.
I was going to say that actually. Like, that's what drew me into to you. I sort of like stumbled across you sort of by accident, and you're good at social media.
You think?
Yeah, really good. Whatever you're doing, it enticed me in.
See,
Like,
that's one of the things where I'm thinking I don't really have a clue about social media.
Really?
I'm just trying my best every day to learn what I need to be doing next.
Are you doing that yourself?
Everything myself, yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it's hard.
Mate, we've got a social media manager at work, and
Point him in my direction.
yeah. I'm not sure he's got the skills you've got. Like, you know, just saying.
But even today, before coming here, I'm videoing content, and I'm sat there editing all together, and I hate that part of it because I don't really know what I'm doing. Like I say,
Mate, honestly, like when I first seen it, the first thing I thought is he's got a social media like guy.
No, everything's myself,
literally doing it yourself.
The only person I've ever employed is someone to put a website together for us.
And that was it.
Yeah.
But all them posts, all that like inspirational stuff, you running on the treadmill,
Yeah,
all that.
it's all my own ideas, everything.
It's hard to keep it fresh though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, just everyone's doing the same stuff, especially in the gym world. It can definitely get oversaturated.
Well, this is one of the things that kind of bothers me, is I might think of an idea, put the content together, and then the next day I'll see another coach who follows me kind of put the same thing. I'm thinking, well, that was my idea.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I've thought of this myself. You're supposed to be
yeah.
a coach. So it's, yeah, it is oversaturated. isn't
It's tough, but that's, it's just another notch under your belt that you are doing it well. You know what I mean? I just keep coming up with ideas, but it's very, very tough. I mean, Dan talking about that social media manager at work, that would be me. And it is tough for these many clients to just keep it fresh. But what you are doing, from what we can, the little stalking that we've done there, you're doing something right there, man.
Yeah, it looks good. It's impactful. You know what I mean?
That's what I want, yeah.
Some of the stuff you were doing, I think, like, obviously you're very good at it, but like it looks good in JD Gym. Like the lighting and shit in JD Gym just works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've noticed that since changing gyms again.
Yeah.
The lighting in my new gym is a lot darker.
Is it?
Yeah.
What gym have you gone to?
Gone back to one gym.
One gym.
That's where I worked.
The sex dungeon. That's what it looks like, doesn't it? You've been in before?
I've never been, no.
Mate, it's mental.
Which one, the Darlow one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went in for one day. I was like, is this like some kind of dominatrix? Like,
Did you see me on the outside though?
No.
The big poster?
No, I didn't look.
Yeah, I'm on the outside of that one.
Whereabouts?
So,
on like the main where the Marks and Spencer's front window was.
yeah, where next to, is it B&M next door?
Yeah.
Yeah, around that.
No way.
There, yeah.
How did you get on there?
Well, obviously I worked for one gym. I hired a guy to do, me and the other girl who was on the photo, we worked together.
Right.
We hired this social media guy to take photos of us in the gym for our own content.
Right.
Got some photos in, it was actually Ryop, Sunderland, one gym.
Right.
And then the owner of one gym ended up using them on their building.
No way.
I went from there, yeah.
It's not bad
No,
marketing,
nice
is it?
No.
Shame they can't put your name next to it as well.
Yeah,
Do you know what
I
I
don't
mean?
think they'd ever advertise for us now. I don't work there.
Connor
But
Dunlavey Fitness next to it. That would do.
I'll
wouldn't
just
it?
stand outside next to it.
I know,
waiting for someone to notice it. Yeah.
No, that could be a post for your social, to be honest.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
know.
what
Yeah. Well, I only went there for the first time about a month ago.
Right.
Obviously, it's been open about 2 years now, is it? Something like
So,
that.
yeah.
But yeah, it was nice to see.
Do you know what I did notice? Like, obviously, I have done a tour of the gyms in the town.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if it was just like a day I caught it, but like everybody, like male, female, older, younger, everyone's jacked at bits.
Right.
Like when I was in one gym, everyone looks. I could
yeah.
clearly see like people are in better shape here.
Yeah.
That's what I noticed. I don't know what that is. I don't know whether it's a coincidence, you know, but there seems to be more equipment in that gym than anywhere else.
I do find it's the best gyms around here. And I'm not saying that because I used to work for them, but
No.
I've been to a lot of gyms. And I love JD Gym, I really do. But in one gyms, they've just got so many options. I was just saying to Southpaw there, I've been travelling to like Chesley Street one gym, and it's an amazing gym. It's really good.
Is it?
And you've got the option of Darlow, Aycliffe, there's all sorts around there.
Yeah.
So,
You're not still employed by them though?
no.
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 This isn't a plug or nothing.
And
no.
they won't actually repost any of my stuff because I don't work there anymore now. So when I'm tagging them in the stories, because my page says fitness, Connor Dunlavey Fitness, they're not actually allowed to repost anyone who doesn't work there. So I still have friends who work there.
Typical.
Yeah, but don't get anything from it.
Cheers, one gym.
And I've just promoted them there, haven't I?
I know, yeah. I know.
I've never quite done like the gym tour of Darlington. I actually want to go and see what it's all like, but in the walls of Ballantines, you get all different types of people. Like you do get the occasional jack, but people go there for leisure a lot of the time. So it's more of a spa gym, to be honest. And the equipment's all right, but I've never actually been. Where did I used to go? I used to go to True Gym at Preston Park. Like that was back in the day, but that was good. But yeah, Ballantines equipment it's now compared to all these.
I've never
one
actually
gyms.
been to Ballantines.
Really?
I've only ever considered it for the spa, like for sauna, swim.
I thought you'd be big into all like your saunas and steams.
Oh, I have a
to be
sauna
honest.
pretty much every day.
Oh, do you?
At one gym, yeah.
Oh, is this?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
I love a sauna.
Yeah, that was my only like whinge about JD. I think they've look, I'm not JD Gym. They know a lot more than I do, but I think they're like really missing a trick there.
Not having a sauna.
Yeah. Like, how have you not got that? Have you got all this money for this massive complex, like all this gear? Like, yeah, it looks the business.
Yeah.
Where's your sauna?
I know.
You've got to have a sauna. Like, it's fashionable now. Like as well. It's really. I mean, Joe Rogan started it, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's just trend, isn't it? Like everybody wants a sauna.
Yeah.
How come there's no gyms? Why hasn't anybody jumped on the back of the hot and cold thing yet?
Well, there actually is in Aycliffe, I believe.
No way.
It's like a wellness where it's literally cold plungers, saunas. I've never been,
Right.
but it's just purely for that. It might be like the size of this room, and they've just got like the little. Because it's a good idea.
Lanch does it, doesn't she?
Yeah,
Hot and cold northeast.
Lanch Green who came on
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
She's got what's it called? Hot and Cold Therapy NE.
Yeah, that's what it's
shout
called.
out to them. They're doing some really cool bits. But again, like sauna, I've only just got up to the mark of about like pushing myself on the top ropes to do 15. I don't know how long you. I mean, I've been in the sauna with you, Dan. And you just pushing 20 every time. I've got that mentality though. When somebody comes in, I'm like. I'm going to beat them. No, I'm going to beat them. I'm going to stay in until I die, but I can never do it half the time. How long you lasting in the
I like
sauna?
to try and do about half an hour.
Shut up, man.
Yeah,
Fuck.
but I get bored. I'll go in there with my phone, and then my phone will overheat. So after about 5-10 minutes, I'm sat there and I'm thinking,
Oh, no. Listen, lads. I've got it sussed for you. No. I am a phone in sauna guy. You need to play it. You need to have when you're in the changing room, right? You select your podcast. You put your timer on. I'm 21 minutes. The 1 minute is the time it takes me to walk to the gym, to walk to the sauna.
Yeah,
you get me? 21 minutes, Joe Rogan podcast, go. You put it in your pocket, right? And you have your earphones in. Obviously, as you walk in, you turn them off on your earphone. Apple earphones, innit? You walk in there, in case anyone's, hello, yeah. And then you sit down and you click it. And you just sit back. You don't take your phone out of your pocket. No one knows this, right? Because I've whipped my phone out my pocket before, halfway through a sauna.
Yeah.
And someone will say, is your phone not overheating? Fam, you don't know your science. Listen, when your phone is touching your leg, it won't overheat because your body heat is regulating it.
really?
You can sit in that sauna for an hour with that phone. As long as it's touching your leg in your pocket, it's not hot. It stays cool the whole time.
Wow.
If you hold the phone, you've got about 4 minutes before it goes up too hot. Mate, I've got the knowledge, mate.
That
Do you know what
sorted
I
me
mean?
out for tomorrow's session.
This
then.
is what I'm
Yeah.
providing. Unless you've got little snazzy swim shorts with no pockets, that ain't going to
Yeah,
work. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Little dick showers, do you know what I mean? But if you're wearing, I'm wearing football shorts,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't got anything to show. You get me? So I've got the pockets.
Yeah.
Listen,
I'll try that.
It works, mate. It works. I don't know if you're allowed to. Like, is it?
No,
off?
it's mate, Valentine's. If you get caught with your phone in there and it causes any issue to the pool, it's like £1,000 fine or
Really?
something. Yeah.
What, you're not allowed your phone in the sauna at all?
Well, you don't get. You're not allowed it in there. But if there was any like issue that was caused from your phone to electrocute, I don't know, whatever in the pool, then like apparently it's like £1,000 fine or something. I've seen it on the wall. Like, but obviously you break the rules, Dan. I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah, but if it's in your pocket, who knows?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Are we rolling, Southpaw?
We are rolling indeed. Yes.
We are rolling. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are. Oh no, we've done the We're Back. We've done the January one, haven't we? The first one back. That was Rob.
Yes, we have done the first one back.
Okay.
This is technically our first one of the year, but we've already done the Welcome to January.
Yeah. Well, today's guest is a fitness coach. He's the man behind Connor Dunlavey Fitness. We are grateful to be joined today by Mr. Connor Dunlavey. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Dunlavey?
Yeah. Nobody ever gets it right. Dunlavey.
Dunlavey.
Yeah.
The E makes it in. Oh no.
Dunlavey.
Dunlavey. Oh yeah, Dunlavey would be with no E, right? Yeah, see? I know something.
Mr. Connor Dunlavey, welcome.
I've got it all
Thank you
here.
for having
Yeah,
us.
welcome. Thank you for talking to people like us. So, you found it all right then?
You had to come out and get me, didn't you, Southpaw?
Yeah.
I was parked around up there.
It's like
I
a
wasn't
little-
sure which building it was.
It's like a little Lapland, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
There's
I was worried about
apparently there's a hair loss place around there. You said, yeah, I didn't know. This could be good for me. You know, in the future, the receding is honestly it's deceiving. This mate,
saying if the wind picks up.
you wouldn't even want to know. Yeah, the wind's really bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No, all good. No, all good. Yeah, listen, everybody that watches and stuff, I got shown a little bit of nostalgia today from Southpaw. It was a video from the 7th of January 2023, right?
Indeed, that was.
It was a lovely video. It was the first day we got in here, and this table was getting set up. Long story short, everybody that watches, we are grateful that you still do watch. This is something we love. This is something we're passionate about, and we're grateful for everybody that is on the journey with us, aren't we, Southpaw?
Yeah, we'll pop that video up so you can see what was once nothing like a studio. Anyway, there you go.
So, Connor, welcome.
Thank you.
Look, do you know what? We are going to get into the fitness stuff, but we always like, you're a new guest, we like to sort of dig in a little bit. What's the score? Where you from?
I'm from a little village called Chilton.
Chilton.
Do you know where that is?
I do know where it is.
Yeah.
I've met many good people from Chilton.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
related to them in some way. It's only a small village.
Is it?
Yeah.
Isn't it strange, right? We live, 15 minutes drive?
Are you Dalton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's an accent difference. You don't find that strange?
Yeah, I
Like,
do.
I was guessing before you come, I thought you were going to say Spennymoor. Do you know what I mean?
That's not far. I mean, I went to primary school in Spennymoor.
Did you?
Yeah.
There's no school in Chilton, is there?
There is primary school?
Not comprehensive, though.
No.
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 Where's your nearest comprehensive school?
Ferryhill.
Ferry Hill.
But I went to Bishop Auckland, St John's.
Right, Bishop St John's.
Yeah.
And bus rides for you then?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the, obviously now you're a fitness coach. There's a story before this, right?
Yeah.
Right. So talk us through it. How did this begin? So you've done your school. You're a bright kid. Sporty kid, I imagine.
Sporty, yeah. I was always into my sports.
Football?
Thought I was going to be a footballer like every other young lad.
Yeah.
That was the only vision I had.
How far did you get other than...
I played for academies. Genuinely believed that was what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Never really had any interest in school.
No.
Kind of just went there for fun, make friends. But yeah, football was the route I saw myself going down. It's kind of what everyone else around me thought as well. I was quite a talented footballer as a kid.
We were saying that. We looked at a couple of your reels, right? You look like a footballer.
Yeah, you say that you do.
Yeah.
You just got a footballing look. I don't know what
Well,
it is, mate.
everything I've done all my life has been based around football. So even getting into fitness, it was always because I wanted to improve my football.
Yeah. Where did you play?
Position?
Yeah.
Striker.
Striker.
Yeah, started on the left wing.
Right.
No, striker.
Very
You're a
nice.
left footer?
No,
No.
no.
That's weird. You're the only person I've met who played left wing and was right footed apart from me.
And me.
No,
Yeah.
no way.
3 of us in the same
Yeah,
room.
cut inside,
Cut
shoot.
inside,
Yeah,
mate. That was
yeah.
all of us.
3 left footed.
That was, yeah.
3 right footed left wingers. Wow.
Don't say it as much anymore these days.
No. We're a dying breed.
Everybody's
Let's go.
2 footed now, aren't they?
No. Everyone's got a strong foot.
What, so if you're playing the Premier League, you're not 2-footed?
Unless you're Dembele from Barcelona. Everyone's got like just one strong foot, I think.
Yeah.
Really? No, I'm not buying that.
Unless
I think it's like, isn't it compulsory now? Like, if you're going to be the
You
best
gotta
of
be
the
pretty
best,
good with both, I think.
you
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
be pretty good with both, surely. You know? Of course you do. Yeah, so, I guess, childhood dream and that. Going to be a
Yeah.
footballer.
Yeah, that's the route. Like I said, I thought
So,
it was
like all of us, we all had our bubble popped at some point, you know? When was your
Yeah.
bubble popped? When did you realise?
Probably not too long ago, to be fair.
no.
I still haven't realised.
No. Still waiting for that call.
Yeah,
It's going to be Jamie Vardy, isn't he?
Checking the text and that.
Well, that was kind of... I mean, I ended up playing Northern League football.
Oh, did you? That's rough.
From about 17.
How many leg breaks did you get?
Just 2 snapped Achilles.
Right.
2 ruptured
Right.
Achilles.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
probably where I thought, right, this isn't for me anymore.
It's brutal, Northern
I've
League.
never played Northern League or Sunday League, but I've heard that it is savage.
Well, I still play it.
Still?
Yeah, but
Right.
more for fun now than career.
Is it? I mean, have you ever seen them reels on like socials and stuff where like it's, I don't know what it is. There's like, it's nothing, you know, there's no stand. It must be a Northern League or some shit. But like some of the tackles you see, it's
Yeah.
literally like, it's as if like they've literally like ninja kicked somebody in the side of the leg. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
is that how it is?
That's maybe more Sunday League.
Sunday League?
Yeah, all the hungover people from the night before having a kick about with the mates.
What's, for the divvy in the room, what's the difference between Sunday League and Northern League?
So Sunday League is usually like a pub team.
Right.
Northern League is semi-professional, so you get paid for it.
Right.
It could be £5, it could be £500, but you get paid for it. So yeah, that's the difference.
Who pays you?
The club,
Huh. And how does the club make money?
by fans. It's quite well supported, the Northern League.
But people aren't buying tickets.
No, they are. Yeah.
Yeah, like just cheap tickets. I think it's like
Yeah.
a £5
Could be
entry.
£5 or
yeah.
£9, something like
Yeah.
that.
Huh.
Yeah.
So there's like I always just thought it's just on a field. How to do tickets? You got to have like an entrance booth.
Yeah. They've all got them.
But how do you do that on a field?
Little
Does somebody
turn-
just
there's-
walk around?
There's actual stands and turnstiles,
Oh,
albeit not very big, but
right.
yeah.
So you're
Yeah,
playing in the
Northern
stadium.
League's still like a decent quality.
Yeah.
Like it's still
Semi-professional,
Yeah,
so-
yeah. Who did you play for, Northern League?
I started at Billingham Town,
Right.
which they have quite a big following, really passionate fans actually. So yeah, they do quite well. Then I ended up moving up to Whitby, which was like 2 leagues above that.
Right.
It was probably when I signed for them when I realised it wasn't going to happen. I've never been the most confident person, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, I've always been... I was a very talented footballer, like I said, but did not have the confidence.
Bro, you don't come across like that.
So, not these days. I'm a lot more confident in myself now, but as a 17-year-old or whatever and from before, I'm so shy.
Really?
Really shy. There's times where I had trials at certain places and I'd be crying my eyes out before going.
Really?
Didn't want to go, yeah.
No way.
Yeah. Just purely because I was too shy. I didn't know anyone there.
Yeah.
When I played for Sunderland Academy, we used to train every Friday night and I used to dread going. Hated it. Couldn't wait to play on Saturday with my mates instead.
Yeah.
Not because I was scared of failing. It was just, I was a shy kid.
So it wasn't performance based then?
No.
It's just social,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. There's times where, like, this was really early days, like 6, 7-year-old. My mum's had to come down. I'm sat crying, like, on the pitch kind of thing. Well, like, in a training session, my mum's had to come down and, like, comfort me.
Aw.
Yeah. And it's only really the past few years where I'm more confident in myself now.
No. You drive yourself home now when you cry.
Yeah, I'm still, like, good laughing now.
No, I get it. Look, I think every little kid or every young person gets it, don't they? I remember similar stories. Like, I was never anywhere near you, but little daft, competitions that I did, whether it be in like a daft school play or, the town sports running. Same thing. But to be honest, I was more of a performance-based fear. Like fear of coming last sort of
Making
thing.
a mistake or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's you grow out of it though, don't you? Or do you? Or do you?
Well, no, lots of people struggle with confidence, in every regard, never mind just performance-based, and it's good that you've, pushed yourself in some regard to work on that, to be honest. I think a lot of people could take something from that.
It's getting out your comfort zone. That's all it is. I used to hate getting out my comfort zone, whereas now it's all I want to do. Even coming on here, this is out my comfort zone.
Yeah.
But that's the reason I would do it.
Mate, it's out of our comfort zone. We've been doing it 2 years.
Stop. Hold up. Before we carry on, just a quick word from our sponsor. Do you have a business? Thinking about starting one? Dash, the bespoke web design and branding experts. When you have a business that needs a professional online presence, when your current website is starting to look a little outdated and tired, when you have an idea and want to see it brought to life online, that's where Dash can help. Dash create bespoke websites built around your business and its requirements, from exceptional e-commerce stores to sell your products online to beautiful brochures showcasing who you are and what you do. The team at Dash will become an extension of your business. You'll be assigned a dedicated team who will help guide and advise from the initial design brief all the way to the website launch. Not only that, Dash provide full aftercare to carry out any changes, alterations or updates quickly and efficiently. It's like having your very own personal web development team 365 days a year. Dash understands that in today's world, the right online image, exposure and representation is the key to success. Book in a free, no obligation consultation with one of their experts today to see how Dash can make your online vision an online reality. Just visit www.dashmedia.co.uk or search Dash Media on Google to find out more. Dash, the bespoke website and branding experts.
Okay, so the story is you've left Bishop School, you've played a bit of football. So at one point you would have started earning money.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
For football?
Nah, job.
Oh, job. My first job was working on the roads, construction.
Right.
And I was kind of forced into that, maybe. It was a relative of my mum's, a cousin or something like that, was looking for someone to work with him.
Right.
And I wasn't working at the time, obviously.
Right.
So she said I would do it. I did it for about 3 months, I think it was. Got to December time, it's snowing outside, I'm getting up at 5 a.m, freezing cold.
Yeah.
I thought, this isn't for me. I'm not doing this anymore. The day I went to quit, I actually broke my finger on site.
Ideal.
Yeah. And I was just like, I'm not coming back. Like, I'm not coming back to this. Working in the snow, freezing, getting up at 5, getting in at 5, just falling asleep, having no life at all.
No.
And the money was good. He got paid weekly as well.
Right.
But I was just like, this isn't for me. So I packed that in. Ended up getting an office job after that.
All right.
Yeah. Again, I'm sat there thinking there's more to my life than this.
Yeah.
I might have done that for 6-7 months maybe. Packed that in December time. There's a recurring theme here.
All your clients are lucky that you're still here.
Yeah, especially when I left the gym, it was December time as well. I was starting to click on it. So yeah, I left that office job. I'm trying to think where I went after that. It must have been another. It was like a sales type jobs that I was in.
Right.
It was more just ringing pharmacies. That's what it was for pharmaceutical company, asking what they want to order, making a note of it, passing it on.
Little upsell in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. After that, I worked for another sales company in Aycliffe, and just hated it. Just like I said, it was more to life for us.
You're not an office guy?
Nah,
Not for
at
you?
all. No.
No.
I only actually left that job because my girlfriend went to university in Leeds, finished uni, got a job in recruitment down there. And I said, I'll just look for a job down there as well. I don't care about leaving this job. I'll get the same job down there or something. Got a job in actual sales, so it was actually selling, not just taking people's orders, in windows and doors.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely loved that job.
Did you?
I loved it, yeah.
Was it hard? Because I've seen these jobs for years, these selling windows and doors. It always just seems like it's like flogging a dead horse. So you're just cold calling people?
No, so we would get the leads through. Right. So obviously they're already interested.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I would call them and try and make the sale.
Right.
But because I was in Leeds with the northeast accent, I think it kind of worked in my favour, and people would trust us, and I would do a little bit better.
Yeah, yeah.
And the guy, my manager at the time there, was just the funniest guy I've ever met in my life.
Leeds guy?
Yeah. He would he'd have a football goal set up in the office. We'd play football all day with like a penny floater.
Right.
We'd have Nerf guns. It was a bit like Wolf of Wall Street vibes. It really was. And then we'd make a few sales and go home, and it was good money.
Flinging midgets at that boss.
Yeah. I wouldn't go that far. But yeah, I loved that job. Did really well in it, made a good bit of money in it. And then that company ended up actually going bust.
Did it?
Due to that manager. There was a few dodgy stuff going on behind that none of us knew about.
Right.
So I turned up one day and it was like, we're closed.
What, just like that?
Literally the same day. I drove home, never came back.
Whoops.
I was driving from, I've kind of missed out a big story there. So my girlfriend worked in recruitment in Leeds.
Right.
We got a flat in Leeds.
Right.
She hated her job. I loved my job. We made the decision to come back up here. the company I was working for offered me a car. I can start whenever I want, pay for my fuel.
This sales job.
Yeah, the sales job.
Right.
So we moved back up here, and I was just travelling to Leeds every day and back.
What, on the morning?
Yeah.
For 9 o'clock?
No, because I could start and finish whenever I want, as long as I did my hours.
Right.
So I'd maybe get in there for like, I'd miss the traffic. I'd maybe get in there for like 10 o'clock, leave at, I don't know, 4 or whatever. And yeah, I did that until the company went bust.
You know what I find interesting? Because I work in sales, and much like you, I worked in like man job, like
All right.
first, you know, like overalls and that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say this, I'm not politically correct, so I'm going to say I'm too much of a puff
All right.
to do a man job, basically. I don't mean that in a derogatory way, I just mean that I was too soft, basically. So my first office job, very different to you, I couldn't believe it. Because I was used to overalls and building sites and, you know, hard, cold, horrible, you know, hairy-ass men and rollies and no teeth. And all of a sudden I got plonked in a shirt in this warm office with the heating on, and I couldn't believe I was getting paid.
Yeah, you liked it?
Yeah, like, hang on a minute. Like, I just have to sit here and you're going to pay me the same as that.
Yeah.
For me, it was a done deal. Like, it was a no-brainer. But what I find interesting is sales, being somebody who's in sales, you get addicted to that commission. And for the most part, everybody I know that got into sales and was good at it and earned commission couldn't leave it because they got used to the money and the lifestyle that it brought. So I find it interesting that you did that, did well, obviously earned money. I mean, if they're giving you a company car and you were going up and down, you must have been earning okay.
Yeah.
I find it interesting that you walked away from it.
Well, obviously I was forced into it with the... Oh, you mean sales in a general?
Yeah. Obviously that guy messed up, but I'm surprised you didn't go after it again.
Yeah, well, it was kind of... When that happened, it was... Like I said, I made quite a bit of money on it, so I had a bit of money behind us where I thought, right, I'm actually going to get into something I enjoy.
Right.
And it was at that point where I thought, I'm going to get into the fitness industry. This is what I love. It's what I've always loved. I'm going to use the bit of money I have behind me, the bit of time I have, give myself 3-month time frame or something, see what I can do, go from there.
Right.
I mean, I enjoyed the sales, but I think I only really did well at it because I was actually honest.
Yeah.
So everyone I worked with, it was kind of like, tell them what they want to hear. As long as we get that deposit, that's it done. Don't have to deal with them ever again.
Yeah.
I had a conscience.
Something like that.
Yeah. And I think that came across well with the clients I was selling to, and they trusted me, and I made sure their job got done. And it wasn't really about the money for me. It was, I don't know. You say that I couldn't leave sales kind of thing. It was never really about making the sale. I never really got addicted to the money or making that sale. No. I mean, you could refer it to now. I like getting a new client to sign up. Kind of the same thing.
I guess so, yeah. I guess in a way, you kind of still are in sales, I guess.
Yeah, I'm kind of selling myself to people to try and trust me.
And as you've just said, it's kind of out of honesty as well.
Yeah.
It's like an honest way of selling.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't selling no lies. Like, you know, this is what I do. Do you want to buy it? I can get you in shape.
Yeah.
You know?
It's kind of like when I'm selling the windows, I only have to make the sale. Someone else had to deal with fitting it and delivering it.
Yeah.
Whereas now I get the client, I've got to deliver the results as well, so it's all on me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm invested in it.
Yeah, a little side note before we carry on, because I can't get it out of my head. What's the difference between like a midget and a dwarf?
Oh my God, Daniel!
Could not answer that.
No, I think
Or,
a
what's the
midget is somebody who is just under 5 foot. A dwarf
Got an axe.
is got like a certain size.
Have you just Googled that, or did you already know?
I knew the midget thing because I'm rather small myself, and I wanted to double check that.
Am I a midget?
I'm not saying I've Googled that before, but
No. Is that the correct term? Is that politically correct, a midget? Or is it a little person?
I can't believe I'm Googling what size is a dwarf.
No, it's you know, we got an audience, man. Like, we're bringing like,
oh, no,
education.
to be fair, I'm wrong. So a person is considered a dwarf if they're under 4'10".
Right.
So standing at my tall 5'6", don't worry, lads, all as well. You know what I mean?
So what's a midget then?
A midget... hang on.
Or is that the impolitically correct word now?
I think that's just you being a divvy, mate.
Oh, I'm sure I've heard that, like that word, a midget, isn't it? Or is it a little person? No, I couldn't get it out of my head.
No, a midget is the same as a dwarf. Anyone under the height of, still defined as 4'10" or under.
Huh.
Because I have Zoe, my missus, has a friend called Serena. Sorry, Serena, but she says she's 4'11", but I think we all know she's 4'10". Right. So that's where I've heard it, mate. Not because.
So what is she? Is she a dwarf then?
Well, no, I think she's 4'10" or something. So she's actually doesn't class as a dwarf. That's her sales pattern. I don't know.
Does she on an axe?
No. It's a shame. Snow White would have been good.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry about that. Back to it. I couldn't get it out of my head. I just kept thinking, so I had to ask.
Yeah, there you go.
Now we know.
There you go. 4'10", guys.
Yeah, we're bringing education. So so we've done the sales job in, and we've decided that we're going to do what we actually want to do now.
Yeah.
So this is when we join one gym.
Yeah, I applied for one gym without any qualifications. Didn't have level 2, level 3, nothing.
But obviously in shape, and you've always looked after yourself, that side of things.
Yeah.
A sporty guy.
Yeah. I attended one gym at the time, so I knew I liked the gym, and I thought, when I seen it appear, I thought, why not? I didn't expect to get even an interview without the qualifications.
Right.
Ended up getting the job.
What did the job entail, out of curiosity?
It's basically you got to teach classes
Right.
and clean.
Right.
So that was it, yeah.
General housework.
Yeah, it's not like you're not employed as a personal trainer.
No.
The personal trainer is separate to the business.
Right.
So, yeah, you're employed as a fitness instructor, teach classes,
Right.
keep the gym tidy, clean. That's it.
So, okay. So we started in this job, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Right. You've obviously liked it.
Mm-hmm.
So how did this, you must have progressed through this, because you said you were a manager at some point, right?
Yeah, well, so I started actually a week before COVID.
Right. So we're talking January.
Was it 2020?
Yeah.
That was actually my trial week, so I hadn't signed any contracts, nothing.
Right.
Then we hit COVID, so I'm not getting paid all throughout COVID.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, nightmare.
And that's when obviously it was lucky I had the sales money behind me. And that's when I started the Instagram page, trying to help people, trying to put workouts for people to do while they're in lockdown.
Right.
And that's where that kind of took off.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of this. Like, who did we have on a while back?
Purdy?
No, man. Who did you say?
Michael Purdy?
No.
I watched that podcast with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice guy. I
Yeah,
like
he
Mike.
seems a nice guy, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
got
a
some-
smart guy.
Do you know what? He's one of the few coaches where you can tell he actually knows his stuff.
I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
He really, he knows some long
I didn't know
words.
anything about him until I watched this podcast with him.
Right.
And you can tell he knows his stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Came
yeah.
away from it, and it's like he gave you stuff that just makes sense, but you never compute it
You
in
never
your
see it
head.
that way,
Yeah, you
yeah.
never see it that way. So he's
Yeah, he's definitely somebody who's like studied his trade, if that's
Yeah.
the word. Do you know what I mean?
probably along the lines of where you're at. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just completely invested,
Dedicated to it,
That's
yeah.
it. Yeah.
It was the tattoo guy. What was the tattoo guy called?
Oh,
Remember?
Richard.
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 Just what you said there about the like starting something in COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Richard did it, don't you remember, with art?
Oh yes, he did. Yeah,
And
yeah.
like it's turned out that he's like an awesome drawer and people
Yeah.
drawer? Artist? Drawer, is that a word?
Artist, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, he was always good at drawing from the tattooing, but he's similar to you. Started in lockdown.
He
Started
now sells his work, doesn't he?
started
Yeah.
posting all these.
I think a lot of people did in lockdown. My tattoo artist, he was telling me his story, and it was the exact same as that. He
Was
just
it?
started uploading some drawings in lockdown.
Yeah.
People messaged him saying, I'd like to get this tattooed on, so you should be a tattoo artist.
Mad
Came
time
from
that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Everybody
think,
was in like survival mode. Like
Yeah.
nobody knew how long it was going to go on.
No, it was actually a great time. The weather was great, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
Weather was mint.
Everybody says this. It annoys me. 'cause-
Did you not enjoy it?
Mate, my time was different. Everybody talks. He talks about it all the time.
I loved
Best
it,
time of his
mate.
life.
Yeah, I love getting the memories on my phone. Thinking,
Yeah.
what time that was.
class.
Yeah, you lucky bastards. No, like,
well,
no, no.
you had a business as well. You had a lot of stresses, didn't you?
Mate, my life was over. So obviously, like the office shuts down. Nobody can sell. Nobody's buying anything. I was selling websites.
Right.
Nobody's buying a website then. Nobody knew what was going on. So just money stopped. I'm not a saver, so I was living on beans on toast. I also lived in a flat with no outside space, no balcony, and we were told to stay in the house. So my days consisted of, I was smoked then, so my days consisted of day after day after day, standing at my window, chain smoking cigarettes. I ended up with a suntan from here up. Like, I looked mental, mate. Like, my face and top of my torso was brown, and my leg obviously white. Do you know what I mean? Turkish barbers were shut, so I grew a beard. No, it was hell. I thought the world was over. And I hear these stories of Southpaw. So, it was great. I bonded with my dad. We did the garden.
Yeah.
Laid in the garden. You know, fuck
You
me,
were stuck
mate.
by yourself.
Yeah,
that's
mate.
fair enough.
Yeah, it was mint. Like
Alone in my smackhead flat.
some people like
Brutal.
applied themselves, like yourself, and made businesses. I just played Warzone with the boys. Literally,
Well, I did that as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just on PS. I hadn't played PS4 throughout the whole of uni. It had been years since I'd even logged on. Anyway, I proper got into gaming again. It was mint. It was the first time in a few years where it was just like you can't do out, so just do what
Yeah.
you can. And then you start playing Warzone. Dad's like, "Oh, can you move this ton of brick? We're doing the garden." "Of course I can, Dad." And look at us, I'm 5'6". You know what I mean? Like, it was mint. Like, we did the whole garden, played tons of Warzone, made memories with the boys. We were sneaking out, having beers, mint times.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I hate you all. I'm only joking. But yeah, I had a different experience to you guys, to say the least.
No, but you do go one or two ways during lockdown, and you did well applying yourself because it was so easy to just sit on your ass, wasn't it?
It generally wasn't to start a business or anything like that. It was just, I wanted to stay fit and might as well try and help other people do it as well.
So when you first started uploading, it wasn't a mission to like make cash. It was just something to do and inform people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So like you say, I'm imagining you start uploading, people start following and people start sharing and it starts to grow. So at what point did you go back to the gym or didn't you?
No, so I went back to the gym. I think we went back to the gym. It opened for a few weeks or a couple of months or something. Then we got closed down again.
That's right.
But also at that time, I'm promoting the gym on my page, trying to get people to sign up because we did a thing where if you didn't cancel your membership, you didn't get charged still.
Hang on, if you didn't cancel your membership.
So a lot of people were trying to cancel the memberships,
Of course.
but we did it where we wouldn't charge you regardless.
Right.
So we retained a lot of members.
Right.
A lot of members were following my stuff and I'd be putting workouts on for them.
Right.
Kind of built that trust up.
Were you getting paid for signing these people up?
After we went back, after the first lockdown,
Right.
then I was getting paid for working for one gym and I was on the lockdown pay, whatever it was called. Furlough, that's the one, yeah. But I don't get paid anymore for members signing up or anything like that, no.
Why did you do it?
I don't know. I liked where I worked. I liked my job. And
Yeah, you're like the best employee ever.
I generally, I'll help anybody.
No
That's
way.
the thing, yeah.
I'd have been like, fuck them. You know, like, you're not going to pay me. Like, they weren't paying you, no? At that time.
Not the first time around, no.
When you were getting people to sign up.
Well, I don't know if they would be signed up while lockdown because we didn't know how lockdown was. How long
But you
it was
were
gonna go
promoting
for.
them still?
Yeah, promoting them, yeah. Yeah.
Imagine that. Some boy.
Yeah, it's only really now where I've gone self-employed and you kind of see who's there for you and who supports you where you think, well, maybe I shouldn't be pushing your stuff as much as I was before.
No, but that's a good conscience that you have that's made probably people trust you. So don't lose that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, it's a lovely trait.
Yeah.
Just say I'm not that wholesome.
Yeah.
You know? I'm just saying.
But yeah, I loved the job. I loved working there. And after a few months of being back, the manager at the time who employed me, he was going on to be the regional manager.
Right.
And just asked me if I wanted to become manager here.
Right.
Obviously I said yeah.
What that entail then? Sitting in an office?
No, nothing really changed. I was just in charge of things like the staff rota, holidays.
Right.
Anything that went wrong was my fault.
Right.
Yeah, nothing really changed.
Did you get to push the clean on other people though?
Yeah, I definitely did
you?
that. Yeah,
You go sort
Yeah.
them bins out, pal.
Sort that out. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, I loved that job. But
What were they as a company like to work for? Because they're massive, aren't they?
yeah, they're
Massive
growing.
friends.
They're growing every year.
Yeah.
There's one gym nationwide.
Not yet. It's just all around the northeast, but I do believe they have plans to open I don't know if it's 5 or 10 each year or something like that.
Yeah.
Like I said, they just opened Chesley Street and Peter. They've got them all around the northeast now.
Yeah.
Really good gyms. I got on really well with the owners. So the owners would come in and train at Aycliffe,
Right.
which is the one I worked at. So I would see them quite often, but there was times when we clashed, just purely because we were very similar. It's two brothers who own one gym.
Right.
Great people, but me and then one of the brothers were very similar. Got on really well, but also clashed. I'm a little bit defensive. He's a little bit more argumentative, maybe something like that.
Right.
I remember a time when we locked up on a night, me and the girl who worked there, and we left the aircon on.
Right.
So I got an RC text the next morning. You left this on, not good enough. Blah blah blah. I just flat out denied it. I was like, nah, we wouldn't do that. No chance. I believed it as well. I was like, there's no chance we would do it. I remember pressing the button. And he's like, no, you did. It's not good enough. But if that was me, I'd have been like, look, you've done this, don't do it again. Like, it's kind of maybe the way he went about things and the way I defended myself. So we clashed in that way.
Right.
But no, nice people.
They do say that though, like when people are too similar, they always clash, don't they?
Yeah.
But like in a good way sometimes.
Yeah, it's
you
like
know?
me and my dad. Me and my dad are the exact same person. So we get on really well, but we clashed at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, get on well. I haven't seen them since leaving the owners. I haven't seen them since leaving last December.
How old are them owners? Are they old or young?
Late 40s, early 40s. I don't want to get it wrong, so I mean, if he watches this, I'll be getting a message off him.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, because obviously everybody that's into sort of fitness in some way, they'd love to have a gym, but surely that must cost an absolute fortune to set a gym up.
It's probably why we got on as well. Is I was dead interested in how he started. I would quiz him. I'm like that with everybody. If anyone's successful, I'm like, how did you do it? Like, I want to know your story. Similar to how you're sitting here, I would like to have someone across from me where I just quiz them all the time. Yeah. And he kind of told me how he did everything. And yeah, the gyms are really good.
Oh, yeah. They could be the highest quality gyms kicking
Yeah,
out.
definitely the best equipment. 100%.
Yeah. What's that brand new one that I've seen a few people making videos of? Is it in Durham or something? All the equipment's red. Have you been?
That's Ultraflex.
Ultraflex?
Yeah, I've only been there for, I was modelling for a clothing brand, a gym brand, but I've never actually trained there.
I'm hearing good things about it.
It's like a bodybuilder's gym, I think.
Right. It's got all the music pumping and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that all the time. Yeah.
It's a
Is
good
that
gym.
the one that James G. Shaw owns? Or is that, am I getting that wrong?
That might be one in Newcastle. I believe.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
I heard about it through, Chris, the property guy.
Yeah.
He was telling me about it. He said it's amazing. He loves it.
I think if you're very dedicated to the gym and maybe performing on stage, that is the gym for you.
You think?
Yeah.
It's just heavy, Arnie type stuff.
I think so. I mean, I could be wrong. Anyone watching who goes to that gym, I could be wrong. But
Yeah.
I know quite a few who go there who end up competing on stage.
Really?
Yeah, it's not really my vibe.
No, not mine either.
Do you ever try and get people to that stage with your training?
Never. I'd turn people away.
Really?
Yeah, I've turned people away who, look, I'm a bodybuilder, I want to compete. Yes, I can get you in shape, I can help you lose body fat, but it's not my area of expertise, bodybuilding. I've never wanted to be a bodybuilder.
No.
So I would advise them to go with someone else, to be
Yeah.
honest. I have the knowledge, but I don't have the experience of bodybuilding. So
Yeah.
I'd rather they went with someone
Because
else.
that's one thing Michael Purdy was talking about. Like he's taken a few people through that, and like the training is so vigorous. Like what they
Yeah.
have to go through and what he has to put them through is mental.
I've seen people just recently, like, not having Christmas dinner because they're in prep. Not for me.
There's a line, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's nice to be in shape, but it's just not sustainable. I don't think it's healthy neither. I think Mike talked about that. When he was on, you do need a release. Like you can't be just go like living like a monk. Not forever.
Yeah.
It's just not good for your mind. It's not good for your body.
Well,
probably.
that's kind of the message I try and push across with my fitness. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's not training for a specific event or whatever. It's making it a lifestyle that you enjoy.
Well, I suppose this is as good as any a segue. So, okay, you've transitioned, I'm assuming, from the manager of one gym to going full time.
Yeah.
At what point did you think now is the time to jump? Because it must be a bit nerve-wracking going from that regular monthly wage to, see ya, don't want your money no more.
It's very scary. It's a big risk.
Yeah.
There was a girl who wanted to get her personal training qualifications and needed to do some shadowing hours in a gym. So she was a
what's
member, like shadowing me working in the gym, just follow me about, seeing what I do.
Right.
She had to tick off so many hours to get her qualifications.
Right.
And she was a teacher at the time. She was a member of one gym. She came up to me, can I do some shadowing hours with you? I was like, yeah, no problem. So I kind of showed her what we did, helped her with the courses a little bit. She ended up going on to be really successful with her online coaching and quit a job as a teacher, which is a big...
That's a big career, yeah.
Yeah, you've gone to university to get those qualifications. So she went full-time online, and obviously I helped her get them qualifications, and I thought, well, she's doing really well for herself. I'd heard how much she was earning as well.
Right.
And I thought, that's something that I think, obviously, I could do. I know what I'm talking about. So it was always in the back of my mind. She would sometimes pop in the gym and say, look, you need to get out of here. You need to work for yourself. You're wasted in here working for someone else. Kind of took no notice. And then it was, my girlfriend has always wanted to go travelling.
Right.
Always wanted to go to Australia. And I've never really had any interest in it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm too much of a family person.
Right.
I love my family. I've got little nieces. Didn't want to leave them. Like, I'm happy where I'm at, kind of thing. She was like, I need to go. She said it for years and years. It kind of got to the point where she was like, look, I'm going to go. Like, she actually booked a flight without me.
No way.
Yeah, we weren't planning on splitting up or anything.
No,
Just,
no.
I'm going to go to Australia. I need to do it for me.
Well, it was a dream, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I kind of had a decision to make, go with her or stay in my nice, secure job that I did enjoy. But that was kind of, it all fell into place where the online was starting to take over from the face-to-face stuff. So with working in the gym, I was obviously full-time because I was manager.
Right.
You could only PT one person on shift. So I'm doing 8 hours a day, getting one PT in.
Right.
Those who were working part-time, could come in and PT all throughout the day. So they were probably making more money than me as manager because they're PTing back to back.
Oh, yeah.
But there's no way I could ever step down as being full time.
No.
So, yeah,
that's pretty shit, that really.
Yeah.
That's a pretty shit. Like, you've worked your way up this ladder, you've got yourself in a managerial spot.
Yeah.
And you're literally sitting there, seeing these part-timers, raking it in.
Yeah.
Was there never like a conflict of interest? Was there never like...
Yeah, you had to work, I think it was 4 hours in the week. As long as you worked 4 hours in the week, you can PT as much as you want.
In
off
their
shift.
gym?
Yeah. So you didn't have to pay rent. So I know a lot of gyms you have to pay rent, which was obviously the positive.
Yeah.
We didn't have to pay rent, but it was kind of, you've got to give me your time instead.
4 hours isn't that much, though.
For part-timers, yeah, that's great. But for me, who was full-time as manager,
Yeah.
I would do my 8-hour shift. Then if I wanted to make half as much money as them, I'd have to stay in for the full night and then be back in first thing in the morning.
Nightmare.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
So-
you must be sitting there thinking, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Like, something's not adding up here.
Yeah, so that was in my mind. I'd have people come up to me saying, I want a PT, and I'd give them everyone else's business cards apart from mine, and they would say, no, I specifically want you, and I'm like, I can't, because I'm at work.
On shift.
Can't fit you in.
No.
I'd heard of the online coaching, heard people like starting it up, and I thought I'm not really technically advanced to sort all that out. And then I snapped my Achilles playing football.
Yes, you said.
Yeah. So I was sat at home, couldn't PT. My clients were messaging me like, what do I do in the gym? What should I do with this? And that's how I fell into the online. Yeah, so I started online coaching people. Then when I came back to the gym, I was online coaching and PTing. Realised that those who were on my online were getting the results because I've got a plan for them for 7 days a week or whatever. I've got them a diet plan. My face-to-face clients, I'd see them for an hour a week. That's it.
It's not enough, is it?
No, and if they don't come in when they're not with me, they're not going to achieve the results, really, are they?
No.
So yeah, the online kind of took off. My girlfriend booked the flight to Australia, well, to Thailand, and I had a decision to make.
Right.
And I think it was Black Friday last year. I just did it. I just left the managers meeting with all the other managers of one gym, got the car park, and I thought, I'm just going to do it. Like, I've got the online stuff behind me. If it doesn't work out, I'm sure I can walk back into another gym anywhere, do the same job.
Well, of course you could have.
Yeah.
So was it literally just text message, not coming back?
No, it was a face-to-face conversation with the regional manager, who was the one who employed me originally. I said, look, I'm gonna go travelling. I'd mentioned it previously that my girlfriend was wanting to go. I'm always very honest, so I would never hide anything from anyone. So I said, look, I'm just giving you a heads up. My girlfriend wants to go. I've got a decision to make. Then a couple months later, I booked the flights.
They might have seen it coming.
Yeah, I think they had an idea. I think it was when I had my performance review.
Right.
I told them everything then, and I said, look, it could come a few months down the line, and I'm actually going.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I waffle on a bit here, so I don't know where I'm going with the story.
That's what podcasts are, you know?
So yeah, I handed my notice in. I said, I'll happily stay. This must have been early November last year. I said, I'll stay for as long as you need me, but I'm going January 14th, whatever it was.
Right.
I can stay over Christmas, do whatever you want. That's it. December 1st, they said you don't have to come back.
And that was that?
Yeah.
You shoot your pants or what?
More so about the travelling,
Really?
not about the business.
To be fair, now you think in that moment you have literally just set off on your own. Like, you would think, I get it, I'd be nervous about, hang on, if I need to be here full time, like all hands on deck sort of thing, to go on your own and then all of a sudden also add in the mind space and the travelling of it. Like, yeah, I can imagine you thinking, oh, is this a bad idea here?
Yeah. To be honest, I knew that online was going to work. I knew it was
Just
just
straight
because I was so dedicated to it.
How many clients did you have at that point?
Talking maybe 15,
15.
and they weren't paying big amounts.
No.
So it was maybe an average wage, not a great wage at the time. But I just knew it was going to work out. I fully believed that it was going to work out. I knew how dedicated I was to this, and I knew nothing would stop us. What I was scared about was going travelling, leaving my family.
Right.
That was what I was scared about.
3
Petrified,
months
actually.
as well, yeah, 3 months.
Yeah, well, we didn't have a return flight booked at the time, actually, so it could have been longer. Yeah, I remember crying on the train.
Did you?
Yeah.
On the way there?
Yeah, all my family came, all her family came to wave us off, and we both just sat crying. They ended up moving us to first class because we were sat there just with our heads down crying.
No way. You got upgraded to first class?
Yeah.
Why did they think you were, I mean...
Well, we've just sat there with our heads down crying, like, obviously waving them off. My little niece is there waving. She was only 2 at the time. It was a really hard day. I actually describe that as the worst day of my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And my girlfriend laughs at me now when I say that, calls me soft, but it was horrible. I remember the car journey to the train station in Darlington, just all of us just in silence. None of us could speak because we didn't know when we were going to see each other again.
Mental.
And then ended up being the best time of my life.
Oh, mate, a dream come true.
Yeah.
Like, that whole, imagine, like, booking and not having the return flight.
Yeah.
Like, that's doing it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I've been on some holidays, but I always had a return flight, you know? But just going and I'll be back when we're back. Like, not really having a plan.
You just don't know, yeah.
Like, did you have a roundabout plan of, like, what countries you were going to travel to?
Yeah, she planned all that,
Right.
basically. So we went to Thailand, all around Thailand, flew to Singapore, did a couple of days there, and then travelled up the East Coast in Australia in a camper van.
Pretty much sounds like what Ben did. innit?
Yeah, similar.
Yeah, similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no real clue what we were doing or how I was going to do it. I was just thinking, in my head, I told myself 3 months. Let's just get it out of the way. She'll have it out of her system,
Yeah.
then we can come back. And I think it was me who wanted to stay there longer in the end.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was only because my sister gave birth to twins.
Right.
A few weeks went by and I was like, I need to go home and see them now.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet, innit?
Yeah.
So you're out there, you're in Thailand. Did you adapt to the situation? Like,
With the coaching?
yeah.
Yeah, it kind of worked in my favour. I think
How so?
everyone seen me sat on a beach, living in paradise, sat on my laptop. It was
Right.
kind of like, not only did clients want to join with me, but like I had like other coaches messaging me like, how do you do this? You're living the dream, blah, blah, blah. And it kind of got my name out there a little bit more. So my business just ended up taking off. Yeah, and the way the time difference worked, it wasn't like, while everyone else was asleep, I was doing their plans, so it was great. I could catch up. It was kind of like we were on opposite shifts with all my
Yeah.
clients back home. So it just worked out perfect. It
What,
really just took
what
off.
amazing
I know.
thing that would be.
And then at the same time, the missus is taking off this lifelong dream
Yeah,
of hers.
yeah.
And,
But
and
it's
it
just-
turned out to be your dream as well.
Exactly, yeah, yeah.
Isn't
But
it mad, like the change around as well? You think November, whatever year that was, in the November, you're in this gym, like just doing your day job, looking at these other PTs, thinking, hang on a minute, like, and then within, 8 weeks, you sat on a paradise beach
Although,
working for yourself.
firstly, of course, he left in December.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and then he moves
Yeah.
on and just smashes it out there. It
Yeah.
sounds perfect,
I
mate.
ended up like paying for our time out there. We could do anything. So we were meant to be traveling. We were staying in 5-star hotels.
Okay. Well, it's not expensive out there, though, right?
Not in Thailand. Australia is.
Is it?
Thailand, you can't spend your money.
I hear this, right? Is this a myth? Like, I hear people saying it's dirt cheap. Is it really?
Yeah, yeah, it really is. Yeah.
Right.
It's just ridiculous. Like you'd pay for 3-course meals for 2 of us, and it's works out like 15 quid in total or something.
So what would it, like, give me an idea. Like, you book one of these 5-star hotels, right? What are we paying per night?
Honestly, I don't know. In Thailand,
Yeah.
very, very cheap. So you pay maybe 30, what is it, dollars over there, something like that?
Yeah, yeah. And
30
then
quid
even
a
then,
night.
it's dollars, isn't it? So it's like...
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, it works out even cheaper. Something like that. Literally, it was what you would pay over here for £150 a night at least. You're getting for £30 over
It's
there.
crazy, isn't it?
Mental. Did you, whenever someone, I mean, I don't want to sound racist, but do they eat, like, bugs and stuff?
Yeah, it's the first thing I did actually when I got there. Tried cockroaches and scorpions.
Right.
No way.
Really
What were
nice,
they like?
Really nice, actually.
You're joking. What they were nice.
You know, like pork scratchings.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like that. Lovely.
Oh, did it still look
Crazy.
like a scorpion?
Yeah, it was on like a stick.
Oh,
I think that was the first post I did on my page over there, me eating one of them, saying going in everyone's meal plans or whatever. My girlfriend didn't get it on video, so I had to buy another one and they do it again.
yeah. Well, to be fair, you don't see too many, like, fat Thai people, so maybe it's a low-fat diet,
Yeah.
you know?
Isn't that interesting, though, that, you know, you probably went out there, never spent tons of times on social media or promoting yourself out on social media, maybe a little bit in lockdown and some
Yeah.
plans and that, and you had the confidence to film. But the fact that you were out there taking a massive risk, it just played into your favour, the fact that people see these influencers online living the life of Riley, like smashing it,
Yeah.
and people just thought, oh, he's smashing it, he's the PT, he's the guy I want. What was that like? Just the change all of a sudden, just everything's just going your way.
Familiar. That's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
I had no real plan.
You not fear it though?
What?
I know you say, I mean, I'm admiring you, like your confidence in it, because I'm a worrier, and like I wouldn't have had that mindset that you had. You were just like, yep, this is going to work.
Do you know what? Before I went, everyone in the gym was like, "Oh, we're devastated you're leaving. Are you going to come back? Are you going to come back?" That was the question I used to always get. And I said, "Who knows? When I come back from traveling, yeah, maybe I'll come back to the gym because I loved working there." And then there was one guy in the gym, and I said, "Oh, look, I might be back next year, so I'll probably see." And he was like, "No." He said, "You need to look ahead. Don't look back. You've done this now. It's gone. You go and build your business. Go and do what you want to do." And it just switched in my head. I was like, yeah, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to go full in on it. I'm not just going to be in the back of my mind. I'm going to go back to the gym when I go home.
I admire it, mate.
Yeah.
I do. I admire it. I admire that confidence. I'm not sure I would have that confidence. But
I had a little bit of motivation as well, because when I told certain people that I was going full time online, I was literally laughed at.
Really?
By people who I'd helped with their business. Like I said, I'd give clients away and stuff like that. I remember telling certain people and literally laughing at us. And I thought, I'm going to make it work.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
So you've done this magical trip. It's all worked out bang on. You've got the Instagram pictures to prove it. So you get back and the business grows.
Yeah.
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 So what's the ethos? What exactly is the business trying to do? What's your idea?
I want to show people that it's not, or it doesn't have to be as hard as you think to be in shape and to live this nice lifestyle.
Right.
So I think I posted something the other day about fitness myths not to believe in 2025. And it was like, you don't have to start every morning with an ice bath. I know the benefits of it. We've talked about it earlier. Yeah. But I don't want people to look and think, oh, I need to get up at 5 a.m. I need to have an ice bath. I need to eat chicken and rice every day. A lot of people will look at that and think, that's just never going to be me.
No.
I'm quite lazy, to be honest with you. I love chocolate. I love pizza.
Should you be saying that? You know what I mean?
I'm probably the healthiest lazy person that you'll find. So I want to show people that anybody can get in shape. Anyone can make this lifestyle and enjoy it. It doesn't have to be an obsession. It doesn't have to be, like I said, getting up. Do you know, I went for a run the other day, actually. It was 5 o'clock in the morning and it was absolutely freezing cold, pitch black. I woke up at 5 and I thought, I'm going to go for a run now. It wasn't planned. It wasn't because I need to be in shape. I fancied going for a run. Went to put a picture on social media and I stopped myself because I thought, this is sending the message out that people are going to look at it and think, oh, I need to be doing that. I need to be getting up at that time. And I purely did it just because I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
So the message I'm trying to get across is that it doesn't have to be as hard as you think. So,
no.
Yeah.
See, you get so, it's the same with diet, it's the same with fitness. You get so many or so much like mixed messages and mixed advice. Like we've all seen like the reels and the pages of like pure obsession, like in the cold water, 5 a.m, doing 1,000 push-ups, you know, then leaving the house, you know. And like you can get sucked into that and think, that's what I need to do.
Definitely,
that's how I need to be hard, you
Yeah.
know. That's what makes me better than everybody else.
I was probably like that a few years ago when I was younger.
Right.
I'd look at like Muhammad Ali out running early in the morning,
Right.
thinking, oh, I need to be doing that. But
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be that way.
No.
No.
Well, it's refreshing, and probably music to a lot of people's ears. That it doesn't need to be, you know, that intense or that hard. Do you do sort of a lot of your clients share that? Or have you got any people you work with that are like insanely obsessed, and you've got to turn them down?
Turn them away? Or
No, like bring them down a bit.
Yeah. One comes to mind straight away. She goes to the gym like 3 times a day. She'll do every class in the gym that's on that day.
Right.
Purely just because she loves it, though. I've got to try and calm her down a little bit and say, look, you don't need to be doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she loves it. She enjoys it.
Where do you get, like, obviously you're passing on advice to people. Where are you getting the advice? Like, where are you getting your knowledge from? Is it just stuff you've picked up?
Yeah. So I never went to university. I don't have all the science, technical degrees behind me and stuff like that. No. I don't know the technical names for every muscle in the body. But I will spend and have spent the years of my life researching stuff, reading books, watching YouTube videos, getting as much information from anyone that I can, and then kind of putting it into practice and seeing if it works.
Like, same with diets. I mean, what's your opinion, right? Because same as the fitness thing, like there is information left, right, and centre, I said this to Mike Purdy. He had his own sort of opinion. One person, for example, you'll hear from somewhere, carnivore diet's the way, just eat red meat. Then you'll hear another angle, don't eat red meat at all. How does one in this day and age decipher through this, and what is the right thing, or is there a right thing?
The right thing is what works for you.
Right.
So that's the first thing I'll try and teach my clients is I'll give them all the resources. This is your goals. This is your macros and your calories targets. This is an example meal plan of how you can hit them. Here's a 300-page recipe book if you want to mix some of the meals out. Let's see how we go over the next month or two. Let's meet up. Let's catch up. Let's see what works for you. So there's no right or wrong. If carnivore works for you, great. If, I don't know, Slimming World, it all comes down to what works for you, basically. The calorie deficit, it all equals to the same thing.
And what are you eating on a daily basis? What's your sort of diet looking like?
So I eat pretty much the same things every day. So I'll have, say, oats and a banana for breakfast. I'll have either poached eggs on toast or an omelette for dinner. I'll kind of bank all my calories for a big tea.
Right.
That's what I look forward to every day, a nice big meal. And that'll change every night, so it'll be some sort of meat with whatever. But I've done that for years, so I've maybe followed a meal plan in the past to start with, and then started to make swaps out. And what I enjoy, I don't actually like that. I'm going to swap it for something very similar that's got the same amount of protein, same amount of calories. And it is just about finding what works for you. And then you can sustain it for life.
You know this macros thing? Like, it's something I've struggled with, right? Like counting macros and stuff. Like, it seems to be a fairly modern thing. Like, the talk of macros is quite like a recent sort of like phrase. Like, how did all these like people in not the olden days, but like in decades gone by?
Yeah.
There's been people in phenomenal shape. There's been like extreme athletes.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure they weren't counting macros.
No, I
so
don't
is
think-
it that important?
It is important. I don't think they were scanning MyFitnessPal back then.
No, I don't think so. No.
But they'll have had an idea of what's in what kind of thing, not down to the T.
No.
But they'll know what kind of, how much protein's in a certain amount of food, and again, it's finding what works for them. So it depends what your goal is and how important your macros is. So if you're training for a bodybuilding competition where your body fat percentage has got to be right down, you've got every calorie counts basically. Whereas me, who I just want to be fit and healthy, if I'm a few calories out here and there, it's not a massive deal. But I'm more focused on fueling my body with the right foods rather than just focusing on calories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is true. Like, if you eat, you know, we've all done it, like on a Sunday, eating a load of crap, you do feel
Worse.
ill on the Monday.
Yeah.
Really ill. Have you got any, like, you will have one. What's your success? Have you got, like, a success story, like a client where they're in a bad place and you got them to a good place?
Yeah, so physically, I could name loads that have changed the body, but the main thing for me is the mindset of them all. So almost everybody who I've worked with will always say to me, like, I'm set for life now. Do you know what I mean? How I can never go back to how I was before.
Right.
I'm in this zone now where, I mean, I've worked with clients for like over years. They're still with me, not because they don't know what they're doing, but just they like having that accountability there with me and having me plan their workouts. But the mindset that I've seen them, they've changed over this past year or whatever, it's just crazy. Like, completely different people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you say, the accountability thing, I think that's a big factor.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people in the past couple of years be like half-assed gym people, like they want to be gym people, but the change that's happened once they have that person, like at the other end of the phone or the other end of a message, that having that person, and all of a sudden everything changes, and that's all they actually needed. It's not necessarily that they speak to that person every day. It's just the knowing that there's somebody
Tracking what they do, kind of
tracking
thing.
and to hold yourself accountable to.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple of aspects to it, because you've got you at the end of the line that you can reach out anytime, bit of motivation, that side of things.
Yeah.
But I recently was on Cameron Hardy's fitness plan, and that's worked really quite well for me in the last 3 months I've been on it, and he's worked wonders for me, online coaching like yourself, and just having that accountability has been great. But I'm quite money motivated, and I wasn't paying him fortunes. Like, it's a really reasonably priced plan, but just paying that bit of money is like, no. I need to go and get my money's worth, and not even just off him. Just, you know, he's providing very good service, but just for my own self. If I spend money, I'm going to get my money's worth. So there's different layers for different people, and that was mine, like 100%. But it's taken off, this online coaching. It's massive now, isn't it?
Yeah, everyone seems to be an online coach these days, which can be frustrating for me. But yeah.
Well, you know, cream rises to the top and all that.
Yeah, it's just finding the coach that's in it for the right reasons. I've actually found myself muting a lot of coaches on Instagram recently, friends as well. Just I can't see the content that they're putting out because I know they're in it for the wrong reasons.
I'll tell you what I have learned. You know, as you know, I've had a few stints with 2 online coaches now.
Yeah.
This one wasn't you, but I had a stint with one, and I've found a food that basically I think has a special place in hell, which is turkey mince. Have you ever tried turkey mince?
I like turkey mince.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, I don't mind turkey mince.
No.
Why? I don't mind it either.
I got given this meal plan, and I admit the first time I had it, oh, this is nice. Have you ever had turkey mince every day for 3 weeks?
Well, no.
No, mate. Like
That's where you've got to find what works for you.
That's where you've got to make them swaps.
Yeah.
Do you know, that's something that personally I found that difficult. Like when I started with yourself,
I remember, yeah.
the first few days was wonderful because I had these meals set out in front of me. It was great. But like anybody would, you start to get sick of this food. But then you're on your own sort of thing. You've got to go find your own meal. Do you know what I mean? Sort of thing. And you've got to add up, and that's where you're like, oh, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
You know?
So I could provide you with a different meal plan every single week, but what are you learning then?
Nothing.
You're relying on me.
Yeah.
So my goal is that you don't need me further down the line. You don't need me or any other coach. You know what works for you.
Yeah.
So that's what I try and do.
I mean, a 300-page recipe book seems pretty excessive anyway. So.
Clearly didn't want to sit and read it.
No.
It couldn't be asked with that. Like,
I admit I'm probably a bad student. It didn't really work. But no, I admit I reverted back to my old ways. But I have took something away. When I first came to you, I told you the crack. I was overdoing it, obviously. The effects of overdoing it. As much as I have reverted to my old ways, I've taken some knowledge. I have toned it down. I'm not doing an hour's cardio every day, you know, and I have noticed a big difference.
Good.
I'm cardioing every day.
Yeah.
Again, and I think it's just something I need for me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah. So I thank you for that.
I think the mistake I made with you to begin with was I remember the phone call we had, and you said I'm training. Was it like 2-3 hours a day or something? I need you to get it. If you can get it down to 45 minutes, you've worked miracles. The mistake I made straight away was going from them 2-3 hours to an hour a day was a big jump for you. We probably should have tapered it down a little bit.
I mean, to be fair, some of your workouts were 2 hours long.
That was because you wanted more every day.
Yeah, they were.
I'd wake up to a message every morning. I was like, "Are you sure about this? Can we do some more of this?" And I wanted to try and obviously keep you happy and motivated without overdoing it and slowly try and taper you down. But
Surely I must hold the crown for the worst client you had.
yeah, you're up there. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. No, I was battering him every day. I was having a meltdown.
It's good for you though, isn't it? Because you're constantly learning off every client.
Yeah, 100%,
Every client
yeah.
brings you something new.
You were probably the first one who,
Was a nightmare.
no, not a nightmare, but I had to go the opposite way. So it's normally you're trying to take someone from nothing into a little bit of exercise. You were going from a lot of exercise to try and bring you down a little bit.
Yeah.
And probably the first time I'd experienced that at your level. So yeah, I learned from it too.
I expect you will like experience it again
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I found like mad about like Connor's workouts, right? They were rock hard. Like they were really hard. It was loads of stuff I'd never done before, like an assault bike. Who the fuck invented that?
Cameron had me on that. It's
naughty bit.
Awful, isn't it?
Awful, mate.
But it's so good for like you see the calories going up so fast. Like what you're doing with your body there is you're working at the absolute blitz, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like a kettlebell swing.
But then obviously again, I might be wrong. I'm not an online PT, but he's catering his plan for you, who's well like you well versed in the gym. You know exactly what you're doing. So you're not going to make it easy, are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. I think what the problem Connor had with me is I was so deep rooted. I'm not somebody who's been training for a year. I've been doing it for like 10 years and doing exactly the same
You're
stuff.
setting your ways kind of thing, wasn't it?
It's like 1 or 2 hour workouts every day, like an hour's cardio every day, 3-day split. And like Connor had to try and unravel it. And he kind of did at first, but because I noticed a slight change in how I was looking, I was freaking out.
It messed with your mind,
I just
didn't it?
freaked
Yeah.
out. And look, in hindsight, now, if you'd have asked me the day I sacked it off and I went back to my old way, I was 100% for it. Like, no. Like, get it, but no, I know what I'm doing. I need to do this. Now, in hindsight, now the weeks have gone by and I've thought about it, I should have seen it out. I should have. Because as he kept saying to me, like, yes, mate, like, this isn't just this week, like,
Yeah.
this is a 3-month
I think
thing.
the words I kept having to say was "trust me."
Yeah,
Trust me. Yeah.
Trust the process.
But as you say, 10 years in the gym, you've probably already found your ways.
Yeah.
You probably, mate, you probably just got bored. You know what I mean? You probably just wanted to change and
Yeah.
kind of brought that change and benefits by the sounds
Yeah.
of it.
But if we stuck it out, we'd be sitting here today, and you'd be. I mean, you're in great shape already,
Wow.
but you'd be in the shape that we spoke about. You wanted to get in.
Yeah. Maybe we look at it again.
Yeah,
one day.
maybe.
I think you'll be charging me 3 times next time.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, no. I know who this idiot is. Yeah, this guy again.
I brought you a free T-shirt today as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you know.
Thank you. Oh yeah, I've never got. Yeah, let's have a look.
Let's have a little look at the
Let's have a look at
team.
this t-shirt. What size are we talking?
Well, I didn't know what size you'd be. I'm a large, and that's a large. So
I'm a large too. Unlucky South Bar. It's a beauty. This is yours, is it?
yeah.
CD, represent.
Representer. Well, I think what we'll do with this, we'll find a special place for it on our little shelf there, alongside Down Syndrome Barbie.
God's sake.
Thank you for that, Connor. Really appreciate
problem.
it. Great man. Yeah. So now you've Connor Dunlavey Fitness.
Yeah.
It's flying.
Mhm.
You're doing the business.
Yeah.
What's the plan for the future? Where we're going to go?
Got to keep building it.
Yeah.
My goal is to build a business so big that I can help everyone around the world.
How does one expand a business like
This is
yours?
what I'm learning. So, like we discussed earlier, what I didn't expect as a self-employed person was how hard it was going to be a fitness coach, social media, content creator, video guy. Like, you've got to have so many hats on to do this business. So I'm learning every day in that sense on how to build a business. That's what I'm trying to do.
Could you ever, like, I think I mentioned this to Mike. Obviously, people are buying your service because they're dealing with you, right? But if you get so big, you couldn't employ somebody else?
Well, actually, I had a meeting with a girl, I think it was November, and she wanted to basically run my business for me.
Okay.
So she wanted to take away all the stress that I might have doing everyone's plans, doing the social media side of it, and I can just go and chill and relax. But I didn't want that. This is my business. The people sign up probably to deal with me. I want to keep doing that.
Yeah. Because I did think in your game, with it being such, the buying Connor, that's what they're buying.
Yeah.
Your knowledge. But if you got so big to a point where you were having other trainers work for you, say, for example,
Yeah.
then would it still work? Because
It depends. Do you know James Smith, PT?
no,
Probably like the biggest PT out there.
right?
English
guy,
Yeah, but he lives in Australia.
right?
So he kind of started. He was a PT, went on to be an online coach, and gotten so big now that he employs trainers.
Right.
But he's very open about it. Look, you're not dealing with me. You're dealing with people who probably know more than me, actually.
That's a good spin, isn't it?
Yeah. yeah. So he's the face of the company, but he doesn't actually do the planning. I love planning people's workouts. I love it.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't enjoy is actually inputting it into my iPad.
Yeah.
The time consuming, dragging the exercises over, typing things up. But yeah.
Yeah, he's doing something right with 1.4 million followers, isn't he?
Yeah. Do you know what? He was the reason I went to Australia and made that decision one day. I was in bed one night before I'd booked the flight, and I follow everything he does. Everything he says is like gospel to me.
Right.
And I was in bed one night. It was like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't sleep. Put YouTube on. He just uploaded a video about 30 minutes before.
Right.
Why you should quit your job and move to Australia, it was titled.
Huh.
And I thought, this is catered to me. It's a
Literally,
sign.
yeah.
I think it was the next day when I booked the flight.
Literally, the algorithm knows.
Yeah.
Clever social media, innit? You know.
Yeah.
Class.
Yeah, but no, he's different to any other PT. I think a lot of PTs now are coaches, are influencers.
Yeah.
He's the opposite. Tells it how it is. So I kind of take inspiration from that.
And he has people working for him that he's taught his ways, sort of thing.
I think so, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there is an angle.
Yeah, I could potentially go down that route one day.
Because wouldn't you be in some ways limited to how big you could get
Yeah.
in theory?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't have 10,000 clients.
And I wouldn't be able to go.
I suppose what you could do, I'm not giving you business advice, of course. I suppose what you could do is slowly but surely increase your fees off the back of, well, I'm worth it.
Yeah.
You know? I bet if you went down London, there'd be PTs that are charging, you know, where somebody up here is doing a few £100, they're charging a few £1,000.
Yeah, there
You
is.
know?
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah.
Right. There's an angle.
Yeah.
Who knows? Sorry to your clients, like, listening, you know.
I would never want to lose my core clients. So I've got people who are face-to-face clients with me who were there from the start with me online,
Right.
and I would never want to lose them. I enjoy working with everyone, but I really enjoy working with them, and I don't think if I was to say, look, this person's going to come in and they're going to do your plans, I think they'd be gone. And although they pay me a lot less, because I've always kept the prices the same for them than what people would pay me now, I still wouldn't want to lose them.
Right. So you are doing face-to-face stuff?
No.
Yeah.
No. This was
right.
They were face-to-face clients
Right, I'm with you.
who were the first to join my online kind of thing.
Would you be open to doing face-to-face with people?
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love a little unit like this and have my clients come down for a session once, twice a week.
Oh, like your own gym sort of thing?
Yeah.
Never thought of that.
Exciting times ahead by the sounds of things.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're getting towards the end of it now. What have I got here? Do you know what? I was going to ask more about Thailand, but I think you pretty much spelt it out. Magical, working from a beach, scorpions. Yeah. That's pretty much it. You know, how can, if somebody wants to join you, to use your services, how do they get in touch?
It's all on Instagram. Everything I do is on Instagram.
Everything.
Yeah.
And we'll leave a link to that below. But what is it?
It's Connor Dunlavey Fitness. So they can drop me a message. They can click the link in the bio, apply. We'll have a call, whatever, a discussion, go from there.
Yeah, and take it from me, from somebody who has worked with Connor briefly as it was. He does know what he's talking about. He's a pretty informed guy. Nice guy to speak to as well.
Thank you very much. I must say it's a very nice place in here, though. How long have you been here, did you say?
Officially 3 years. No, 2
Yeah.
years.
2 years, officially 2 years.
It's a really good setup in here. I like it.
Yeah,
it wasn't that way as people will have seen earlier on in this episode. It once did not look like this, but yeah, it's getting there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting there. Like I say, it's a hobby. It's something we do for fun.
Do you ever see yourself going full time with it?
Well, that's the dream.
That's the goal, yeah.
You know, there's some interesting things coming in the Southpaw
There is exciting
this
times
year.
ahead.
Keep an eye out. We've
we've
got
got-
a new edition, content-wise.
We've got some big plans, so
We've got some
everyone
big plans.
stay tuned for that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Great.
Connor, it's been an absolute pleasure, sir.
Hey, my pleasure.
Everybody, Connor Dunlavey, get in touch on the socials. Knows what he's talking about. That is the end of the show. Thank you for joining us. Anything else, Southpaw? Have I missed anything?
No, it's been a great episode. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you very much.